While we're discussing the different psychiatric illnesses that are usually discussed in the geriatric psychiatry, there is a range of psychiatric illnesses that is ranging from the mood disorders towards the schizophrenias, towards the delusional disorders. And while we are discussing these affective disorders, it can be the manias on the one hand, and on the other hand, we can have the depressed individuals. So what is the most common affective disorder that is seen in these geriatric age group, that is over 65 years of age group? Usually mania is not observed in these age group. It's usually if a person is suffering from some sort of mania, schizophrenia can be suggested as a differential diagnosis over there. But if the person is put into or categorized into the affective disorder, usually the person is suffering from a depressive episode or is diagnosed with depression. So the characteristics are usually quite common to any normal depression. And how do we go about and treat these individuals, old age individuals who are suffering from these depressive episodes? That will be discussed over here in this section. Obviously, the risk factors, they come up through the environment, the late life stresses that are quite common, or the causative factors for all of the other diseases. For example, the schizophrenia or the dementia, delirium are usually the organic disorders are the causative factors. But when we discuss the depression, usually the causative factors are the late life stresses, ranging from the bereavement of the individual or the death of a loved one, and it can be the empty nest syndrome. All of these are contributing towards the development of depression in the old age individuals over here. So in this section, we are focusing on basically differentiating the normal bereavement from the geriatric depression. Differentiation again is very common, and the duration of the illness will basically differentiate the severity of the disease and how it is affecting the normal lifestyle of the individual will be the causative factors that are going to differentiate these two conditions. On one hand, we have a normal bereavement phenomena. The causative factor can be, there are multiple causes towards it, but what are the characteristics of a normal bereavement? It's again very important. The points of discussion will be discussed over here, and differentiating this normal bereavement from the geriatric depression is very important, or the old age depression is very important over here. The risk factors will be discussed along with them. The personality traits of the individuals are the risk factors. The environmental factors are again the risk factors over here towards the development of these affective disorders or even the depression episodes in an individual that we're talking about. So the normal bereavement, when we talk about it, what are the characteristics of a normal bereavement phenomena that we have to look for? Emotional numbness is seen in these individuals, yearning and denial. So the person would be in a state of denial. He would basically regret or avoid that condition, and he would say that basically these circumstances are not actually present over there, but making the person come out of that denial state is very important for the normal bereavement to end. Anger, guilt, and agitation are the common emotional features that are seen in the normal bereavement phenomena. The person would be suffering from low mood and sadness, and then reflection and thinking of the individual is also assessed. Obviously, the history taking, the counseling sessions are carried out just to get to know the person more. What are the thought contents and the thought form of the individual are precisely done when we are taking a detailed history in these cases of normal bereavement phenomena. Resolution and moving on. Moving on is basically letting go of the current situation, is what is the phenomena that should be carried out in a normal bereavement phenomena for a normal person who is in a normal depressive episode state. When we talk about depression, it's basically more common in the older people, and 1.5 to 10% is the prevalence rate. The older women are more likely to be depressed because they're emotionally more prone to the development of these depressive states. When the normal bereavement is basically hindering the normal lifestyle of the individual, this is when we differentiate the normal bereavement from the episodes of severe depression. This is when the cognitive behavioral therapies or the psychological therapies or the pharmacotherapies have to be integrated into the management guidelines of the individual. So the risk factors, when we talk about them, 60 to 80% of the people can be treated effectively. 80% of the people doesn't receive treatment, so it's quite an underrated problem. The age group which is more frequently affected is 45 to 64 years of age group is quite commonly affected, and it is most prevalent disease, that is almost 6.4% out of the other psychiatric illnesses. So the comorbidities with the physical illnesses is quite common over here. There is a reduced appetite and energy, which is also known as anergia, a life-threatening condition. So it's quite a life-threatening condition, and that is why the management is very important. Intervening with pharmacotherapies or coupling the pharmacotherapies with the cognitive behavioral therapies is very important over here. So it's quite a disabling condition. The normal lifestyle of the individual is affected. The sleep-wake cycle is affected. The eating disorders are seen in these individuals. And then we have the suicidal intentions also seen in these individuals. So to intervene, it's very important medically and clinically. Chronic pain is one of the causative factors when we talk about the etiology of the depression over here. Restricted mobility is one of the causes as well. Now, is it the medications that are causing the development of such a depressive episode in the individuals? How can we differentiate it? The medications can be alcohol. So alcohol intoxication is one of the leading cause for the development of depression in these individuals. And then the pain medications can be prescribed for any terminal illness, for example, cancers. Codeine is very notorious for the development of depression. We have the high blood pressure medications such as clonidine and Rasparin. We have hormones such as estrogen and progesterone are also notorious for the development of depression. Cardiac medications, for example, digitalis and propranolol, are also significantly causing the depressive episodes in the individuals. Anti-cancer drugs such as tamoxifen, cycloserine, Nolvadex, and Parkinson's disease medications such as L-Dopa, bromocriptine, arthritis medications such as Valium and Halcyon. So all of these medications, usually the people who are belonging to the old age group are on multiple medications. They are suffering from multiple diseases. So all of these medications can basically result in a depressive or in a severe depressive episode of an individual. So these medications have to be overchecked, and then the medical conditions have to be checked: hypothyroidism, calcium B12 deficiencies, vitamin D deficiencies, heart diseases, as well as the neurological illnesses can sometimes result in a depressive episode, as well as the cancers and the COPD, that is the chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, can also result in the development of depression. So over here in this section, basically we dealt with the affective disorders, primarily depression, which is seen in the older age group. So that is the end of this section. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.